Servus and welcome back to a new episode. My guest today needs no introduction, so to speak. Please welcome the Nintendo GameCube. This console was introduced 22 years ago in the year 2002, at least here in Europe. According to sales figures and the almighty internet, this little console here was a flop. But I really like my small little GameCube here. Even though, strictly speaking, it isn't a cube at all regarding the measurements, but anyhow. Today's topic is something completely different, namely media, or better the inability to play them because the optical drive on my GameCube is broken. So in this episode I'm gonna look for a way to breathe in new life in my Nintendo GameCube. Let's go!
The first step is to dismantle the GameCube. Interestingly, there are no Gambit screws in my console, but normal Phillips screws. But I have also the second version without the digital video output. However, it is possible that someone has already been in the console and replaced the screws. Maybe as a small note, this is not a professional repair video. There are already enough of them on YouTube. Besides, I'm not a professional either. I'm just trying to get my GameCube working again. Fortunately, it is quite easy to take apart. Ah yes, the disk drive, the reason for all the action. Be careful when disconnecting the flex cable from the board for the controller ports. These cables can be fragile. So far, so good. After the fan and the power board, I can finally remove the disk drives many screws later. I will need the chassis on which the drive sits again later on. On to the actual mainboard, which is hidden under this huge heatsink. Fortunately, everything looks in pretty good shape. On the underside of the board you can see the additional ports that are used for the Game Boy adapter, for example. Thanks to modern cutting technology, cleaning the case is a piece of cake. Well, at least here in the video. As I said, I still need the chassis of the drive. few screws later and that's done too. Too bad the original drive has quit service. Of course, nothing will be thrown away and maybe I will be able to fix it up again at some point. But what now? The broken drive will be replaced by something pretty cool, the GC loader. You want to know what that is? Well, it's a fantastic little device with an FPGA chip that allows me to load my GameCube ROMs from SD card. The perfect replacement for my broken drive. You can find the links to the homepage and the shop in the video description. The GC loader is attached with the enclosed screws and uses the recess in the chassis just like the old drive. Soldering is therefore not necessary at all. Once this is done, a hole remains because the new model naturally requires much less space than the old drive. But that's no problem either, 3D printer to the rescue. You can find an SD card extension on Amazon and, for example, as well as the SD card holder for it, if you don't have a 3D printer. Links, as always, are in the video description. So far, so good. That's everything assembled again. What's missing now is some software magic. If you have an original GC loader module, not the light versions, then you should check the manufacturer's website for firmware updates. On GitHub you will find Swiss for the GameCube, which is not called that by chance. It is the piece of software that makes everything possible. Together with your, of course, legal game ROMs, you then place the files on an SD card which you insert in the GameCube according to the instructions. And that's all there is to it. Now let's see if the whole procedure has paid off. And surely everything works like a charm. As soon as Swiss has loaded, you can see the ROMs in a handy-dandy browser, ready to go. Of course, Swiss offers lots of configuration options, but to be honest, I've only skimmed through them so far. In any case, there are plenty of options for tinkering. Hey, but everything works, so I'm happy, I guess? I'd better shut up now and try out a few games. Even multi-disc games like Resident Evil 4 are no problem for the GC Loader and Swiss.
Widerlich. Die schmecken Popelgeschmack. Schokolade. Popel. Marmelade. Spinatgeschmack.
Hier drüben, Mr. Potter.
Kutteln. Toast. Leber. Curry. Kokosnuss, Leber, Schokolade, Curry.
All in all, I'm very happy with this modification, and maybe it can save a GameCube or two from becoming e-waste. It would be a shame. So, that's it for this video. I hope you had fun watching it, and of course, as always, servus and see you in the next video.